An eager Nathan Paetsch. Eager. Early bird gets the worm. Paetcher, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, it's great to hear your voice.
I know. You know, some friends, you text them, they text back. Other friends just put you on a show 2 weeks later.
Well, it's like I don't want to spoil the conversation, right? Like I'll call you after to really catch up, but it's like you don't want to. I like the raw and the real. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, we talked yesterday, but hey, so what's going on? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because then it just sounds scripted, and you just, I want you to believe that I'm as natural as possible doing this. How are you, buddy? What's going on?
Oh, not too much. Same old Groundhog's Day here. Just school every day for the kids and working out, and that's about it.
Hey, Paetcher, we're going to talk about some of the great things you're doing in Rochester and, some great acclamation that went your way. But first, I want to talk about the 05-06 playoffs in Buffalo because we showed the Ottawa series this past week. We showed the Flyers series last week, and then Carolina series is coming up. What do you remember about, the playoffs? And when did you and Doug Janik and Jeff Gilson and the guys come to Buffalo that year? Was it before the playoffs started, or how did that all work out?
We came probably about a week into the playoffs, I think, when our season ended, and there was a big group of us. We kind of black-aced it. We were separate. Doug Janik and Jilly went straight to practicing with the team, and then Doug Janik went probably, I think Deej went about second round, and then the Carolina series is where they had a bunch of injuries, and I started practicing with the team starting the Carolina series.
So you were prepared. So you knew, you were like, hey, if I have to go in now, I'm not going out every night. I'm staying in, and I'm preparing with the team, and I'm prepared to go.
He was there, Marty. He's the one that sauced at my feet when I hit the rink guy in the head.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
That was Arnie. No, that was Arnie. I was playing in that game, but that was Arnie.
Were you on the ice when Vanek and PD went at it and they fought?
No, I think I was still with the Black Aces then, but I remember that.
Wait, Paetcher, yes, that's not true. You were on the ice with us in the Carolina series. It was morning skate. You hadn't played yet because you played Game 7, right?
Yeah, I played Game 7. That was like Game 5. I remember it now. Yep. I completely forgot about that.
You were on the ice because you threw it in my feet, and then we don't need to relive it.
Paetcher, we all know Petey. How much of a panic was he in skating down the ice when he knew that he hit this Zamboni driver in the head?
Oh, just complete. He just like runs that big bear, and he's like, he is when he gets like that. He's breathing heavy, and he's all panicky, and his head's popping around.
Marty ran down the tunnel to tell everybody.
Marty had to talk. That's what Marty does with mechanics. Sorry.
If something like that happens nowadays, I would have tweeted it from the locker room.
No, you wouldn't. You would have had your phone on the ice with you.
Probably.
That's amazing.
Anyway, Paetcher, are you watching any of these old Sabre games?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I watched the whole outdoor game again. That was a lot of fun. They're doing it for all different leagues. The AHL ones have been doing it. I watched one of my Calder Cup wins the other day, and then a couple of the Sabres ones, and I already put it in the calendar next week's Game 7. I've actually never watched the game back, so it'll be kind of interesting. What do you remember?
I remember you were getting a lot of media press because we lost so many defensemen. You were, I think a lot of people were kind of wondering what they were going to get out of you. How nervous were you? I mean, you played it pretty cool. Like, I remember you downplayed it. You played your first NHL game that year. I remember you had an assist. But, I mean, this was a completely different scenario. I mean, what was your honest, nervous reaction to that game?
I think I was so over-nervous that I couldn't even comprehend what was going on. It was just all too surreal. It was kind of like being in a dream. I hadn't played in months. I don't know if you remember. I had a high ankle sprain. I got in a fight about a month left in my season and got a real bad high ankle sprain. So I was rehabbing. I hadn't played in months. So I was coming in pretty raw, and I think just emotions took over everything, and I didn't even have time to think about it. It all happened so suddenly with Cheese and that whole infection thing. It was so bizarre. It was something I never thought could ever happen, that a guy would have to miss for something, and ended up being so serious. So everything happened, kind of snowballed so quick that I was too nervous to even think about it, and it happened too quick to be able to overthink it as well.
But okay, so let me ask you another question, because we're pro athletes and we want to play, and I mean, you don't wish injury upon anybody, but were you kind of hoping that with the run that was going on that you were going to get in the lineup?
I was not. Honestly, I was too young and too naive to think about that at all. I'd only played one NHL game to that point. The NHL was a distant dream to me, and when the injuries started piling up, I was just nervous and scared, to be honest with you. I wanted you guys to win, so I didn't want any more injuries. And then when it just kept happening, I just couldn't believe what was happening in front of my eyes. Even just getting to the practice, be able to practice with you guys was a big deal for me, because I was Black Aces, and I don't think I really ever practiced before. The game I played during the regular season, I called up, played the game, and then got sent down. So this was the first time I actually had a few practices in the NHL, and that was awesome enough for me. I thought I had already won there.
Did you guys talk about in the locker room, like Black Aces, or even, towards the end, and you see the success? Did you guys have the discussion like, hey, are we getting Stanley Cup rings if this goes the whole way? Like, is our name going to be on the cup? Because I can recall being Black Aces twice, right, with the Sabres, and you people ask you, your family and friends ask you that question. So I had thought about it before. Were you guys thinking about it?
I wasn't quite there yet, because, like I said, this is my first ever Black Ace run, so I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't even know that was a possibility. I was just kind of thinking, well, when this is done, I'll be going back for the summer and getting ready for next year. And then you guys just kept winning and winning. I was like, holy cow, this is something might be here. And then when it happened, when I started practicing, then all the media and stuff like that, it was just kind of getting thrown to the wolves. Everything happened so fast and so quick for me that I never had time to sit back and really appreciate what was going on.
So you never once at any time thought that, holy jumping, I could have a Stanley Cup ring?
Not before, but I've thought about it probably almost every day since. To be honest, I think about, man, I had one chance. I can't remember if it was in the second and third. I came in on Cam Ward, and I haven't watched the tape, so I don't even know where the shot went, if he saved it. I think he saved it. And every time I think, well, if I would have scored there, that one chance, would my life be different? Who knows? And I can't imagine.
Really?
I was a small piece of that little puzzle. All these other guys, the amazing runs they did, I can't imagine how many different things they go over in their mind. Think of Danny and Drew and all those guys. And TC, if he would have stayed healthy, the amazing contributions, those guys, they must think about it all the time.
Oh, man. It's crazy to hear you. Give us your scouting report. How much did you play in that game?
I think it was about 12 minutes. Me and Jilly were the third pair. So 12 minutes was quite a bit in that situation coming in.
Yeah.
And so it felt like a lot. I mean, plus your heart rate never stopped. You'd sit on the bench and it was pumping the whole time. And I just remember after they scored in the third period to tie it up, it was deafening in that arena. You couldn't hear a thing. I had never been a part of anything even comparable. It was so loud. Then they scored the go-ahead goal, and that was it. It's like the roof was going to pop off, and it was just crazy from then on in.
Man, I can only imagine. That's the only playoff game in the NHL you got to play. That is absolutely crazy.
It's crazy to think, because the next year we went to the conference final too, and I was the seventh defenseman, played 60-some games that year, and I didn't play one playoff game that year. So
yeah, but it's not even. I'm not even saying it from that perspective, Paetsch. I'm just saying it's like if there's any game, you know what I mean, there's not many other games that you'd want to be experiencing than that game, win or lose.
No, I know, and it was to think we were one win away from. I probably would have been playing again the next game. I don't think anybody was really close. So I was thinking, wow, what if I would have played in the Stanley Cup Finals against Edmonton, which a team I grew up as a little kid as a huge fan growing up in Saskatchewan. It would have been just almost too much to handle.
It's crazy. Well, I look forward to. I'll watch that game for sure. I'll watch that Game 7. Nathan Paetsch joining us here on the Instigators. I don't want to say it too often because I don't know that it'll go to your head, but it might go to your Man of the Year, AHL Man of the Year.
Thank you. No, it's a little recognition. Everybody's doing a ton of things. There's a lot of amazing people, and I'm just fortunate to be able to work with them and be able to use kind of the platform that Amherst are able to give us to be able to help a little in the community. We have a great initiative we're starting today after I get off the phone. Cariglio's Pizza has been donating a whole bunch of pizzas. I'll be delivering them to local hospitals around Rochester every Friday for the next, I don't know, probably as long as this thing goes, a couple months. And so we got to really thank them. And there's just so many people behind the scenes doing so many amazing things. And it's just it's a blessing that I'm able to help the little bit I can.
And what are your thoughts next year, Paetsch?
I don't know. I guess we got to still see how this season plays out. It's really kind of in management's hands where we go from here. I don't know. I mean, I kind of take it day by day, year by year at this point. And really, my only goal is for the organization to succeed. It's my personal situation is different now. I play here and there, not very often, but it's more about developing the players here and helping them out and helping not only the Amherst, but the Sabres in the long run. So whatever I can do in that capacity, I think that'll be hopefully my role next year, whether that's playing or somewhere else. I'll never play for another team. That's for sure. I'm not going anywhere. So maybe in a couple months we'll figure that out. Hopefully everything clears up and we can move on.
Now, let me ask you this, Paetsch, because I know the East Coast Hockey League is they canceled the rest of their season. They're done. They're moving on to next year, all juniors and college. But is there a possibility, and you probably talked to the PHPA and the league about what's happening, is there a possibility the AHL resumes its season at some point?
There hasn't been a lot. I'm actually on the executive board for the PHPA, so we talk every 2 weeks, just the executive board and the committee. We're not really sure. It's been kind of put on the back burner. It's all about the NHL right now, and we have to stay ready because a lot of our players put in a situation where there is playoffs. They're going to have to be ready to play for the NHL teams. The AHL is here and is always here to support the NHL, so we're basically kind of standing put to see playing in NBA or what they want to do. I'm not sure. It's obviously everything would be very difficult. But everybody just wants sports back. And I know you guys, I'm sure I'd love to watch some live sports, but safety is always the number one concern.
Paetsch, I got to ask you, you must love the role that you have. I know playing 10 games, 11 games a year sucks. I know getting hurt at an older age must suck. I didn't play into my 30s like you are. But, I mean, I just sit back and I think about, I was just your age a couple of years ago. I could only imagine still playing and how much fun, maybe how much more fun you've had the last few years. I mean, obviously winning the Calder helps. Maybe a couple times you won that, I think. Yep. But, I mean, just how much fun have you had just kind of watching, sitting back, kind of almost playing that Doug Huda-like role that Marty and I experienced? I know you played under him as an assistant coach.
Yeah, so when you get to this age, I've found it's more rewarding seeing other guys' success when you're able to sit beside a young player and talk to them and build a relationship with them and try to help anyway, or even have one of these young kids over for dinner, and all of a sudden they're over for dinner, they're playing with my kids, and then 2 weeks later they're on TV playing for the Sabres, and my son's sitting here watching hey, he just was over here eating, or I was just in the locker room. And so that's really rewarding. My whole reward now is the success of the younger guys in the organization as a whole. And I've loved my role the last couple of years. I've been very fortunate to be able to put in this situation. But that's the management's put me in that situation. Randy and Bots and Tails being here obviously makes it that much easier with having such a great coach. I don't think at my age and my role you can't do it without an amazing coach. And Tails being here just makes it that much more fun to go to the rink every day. So I've really enjoyed it. My family's enjoyed it. And where the future leads, I don't know. But I definitely have enjoyed my time.
Can I ask you a scouting report on one of the Sabres young players?
Sure.
No, I want to know. I feel like Casey Middlestad from when he started in Roch to where the season ended had some significant growth in his game.
100%. So the last month, maybe 3 weeks when Casey was here, I get to watch every game, so I get the bird's eye view. And every time he touched the puck, offensive chances were being created. He really took his game to another level. There were some nights maybe he wasn't lighting up the score sheet, but the chances were there. There's some nights I've watched, he probably could have had 5 to 10 assists. It was crazy, setting guys up, and really took his game to another level. But the reason he did that is because he's a great kid. He was so receptive coming down here to the coaching staff, to the older players, to somebody like myself, even just, young guys with the repertoire or background of him with that much success early on usually aren't very receptive to some old 37-year-old guy that's sitting in the minors for 17 years telling him something. But he was just all ears all the time, and he worked so hard. So everything he did and came along was all due to hard work and a great attitude.
Last player sorry, go ahead, Marty.
Well, I'm just saying, is Middlestat ready for the NHL?
That's not for me. I don't know. There's obviously.
No, I'm asking your opinion. Yeah. Don't be on the fence here, Paetsch. Don't be like Petey and my this or that. I'm saying, like, do you think the way he's progressing that he could start in Buffalo next season?
Paetsch, do not feel any pressure to answer that question. I will 100% support you in not answering, but if you feel like answering, feel free.
I think everything depends on what he's doing right now. I think everybody's going to depend on what they're doing. This is a time, obviously it's a difficult time and a weird time, but people are going to have a chance to take huge strides. And a young kid like him could be taking a huge stride in this offseason, this longer of an offseason, and he could come in and dominate, but that's all on his shoulders.
Last question I'll ask you, Paetsch. We'll let you go, and love to get you on again, too. It's great catching up with you. Billy Borgen. It's a guy Rivs has had his eye on. Will Borgen. What kind of player is he?
He stepped up a little more leadership role this year. He's just a nice meat and potatoes, physical defenseman. With him, he's just got to keep getting stronger and stronger, and he can take that to the next level. He has great gaps, great stick, and he can close fast. So that's his skill set where he takes it to another level. But I think a big key for him is just getting stronger so he can be that mean defenseman on the penalty kill that throws a guy away from front of the net. Because his speed and size and stick and smarts is really NHL caliber. So that'll be a key for him.
Very nice, Paetsch. You definitely have a future as a scout. We'll be in touch, my friend. All the best. Congrats again on Man of the Year, and fantastic work with the pizzas and getting them out to the hospitals. You deserve the recognition. So good stuff.
All right, thanks, guys.